What's going on, y'all? So I just published this video talking about 5 income accelerators. These are 5 things that wealthy people invest their money into, and we weren't talking about traditional investments like stocks and bonds and mutual funds or real estate and all that stuff. We were talking about ways that you can accelerate your learning, accelerate your expertise. And one of the ways that I talked about was seeking a mentor. Seeking mentorship from somebody that has achieved a level of success that you desire. Now, I have another video where I share some tips on how you can find a mentor, but instead of me resharing the same things, I thought, what not a better way than to share somebody else that sought mentorship and the way they went about it, and also what were the results. So I recently had a chance to sit down with Todd Herman for the Wealth Hacker podcast, and Todd is well known as a sports mental coach. So basically what he does is that he gets top athletes to perform at peak levels. And we're talking professional athletes. We're talking about Olympians. So the cool thing is, like, Todd's been doing this like his entire life. And in addition to that, he has shared this framework that he's used for top athletes. And now he uses it for entrepreneurs and hopeful business leaders and has achieved massive success in the entrepreneurial space as well. But just like me and many of you, Todd didn't have any experience training professional athletes and Olympic champions. Like, he didn't have a network of people. So what he had to do was he had to accelerate his learning. He had to accelerate his expertise. And one of the ways that he did that was seeking mentorship from one of the top mental and performance coaches in the country. But how did he land this mentorship? How did he actually seek out the top coach in the country? Well, this is how he did it.
I'm a huge believer in apprenticeship and mentorship. I think it's one of the most lost mindsets that is happening nowadays, where so many people just want success right now. There's a very impatient aspect of the pursuit of something and pursuit of greatness. And that's fine to have the ambition to want to go and do that. But you're going to be able to get there a lot faster with the help of being around the best of the best. And so one thing that my father had said to me before I left the farm was, you're obviously not going to come back and be a farm kid or a farmer or anything. But if there's any advice, because you're going to go do something that, we're not skilled at, we don't know that world, whatever it is that you're going to go and do, but just find whoever's the best at it and go and learn from them. And, my dad was well known for being the best farmer in our area. Everybody came to my dad for advice. And so that's what I did. And I've consistently done that over my career. Is I'm not looking for second best or third best or just someone who knows the topic. I want to work with the absolute best. I reached out to Harvey Dorfman, who is considered the Yoda of baseball, wrote literally the Bible of the mental game world called Coaching the Mental Game. Cold outreach to him. And after some back and forth, convinced him to allow me to come down and spend 30 days with him in his home in North Carolina during the off season, because he was huge in the baseball world. Everybody wanted to work with Harvey. And that's what I did. So I went and spent 33 days with Harvey down in North Carolina. And when I was on the phone with him, he said to me, you don't expect to live with me, do you, kid? And I was like, no. I've got an aunt and uncle who live in the area, and I can stay with them, and I can come over. I can borrow their car and come over to your place. Now the reality is, I didn't have an aunt and uncle in the area, but I knew that there was a Motel 6 not too far from where he was, and it ended up it was $28.50 a night, just south of $29, and that's where I stayed. And I never told him the entire time I was there, and but so I went and stayed with him. And like literally the 8th day that I was there, Roger Clemens came in for his annual kind of like one-day pilgrimage to come and see him. And Harvey invited me to come and spend the day. The next day, Andy Pettitte came in. The next day, Craig Biggio came in. Literally the giants of baseball were all making their annual pilgrimage during the offseason to come meet with Harvey. And yeah, so I got to see the best of the best work with the best of the best in the industry. And boy, you talk about having a greased lightning slide towards leveling up your skill, because it would have taken me a decade plus to see the nuance of how to work with these people at a super high level, and the most common problems that they were coming to Harvey with, which were way different than I thought that they would have been. So when I left Harvey to come back home, he started shepherding over clients to me consistently because he was full. I mean, he was at the time, I think he was with the San Diego Padres. And so he had private practice. That's what he did. And he wrote books and worked with people. So he didn't have the time to work with all the people that were coming to him. And so he started sending me over clients. And that's kind of what started to fill up my roster.
When did Harvey find out, or did he ever find out that you were staying in Motel 6?
He never did. No. I never told him. I told him later. I told him like a while later.
Yeah.
And it's funny because while I was out shopping my book around that just got published earlier this year, I met with a publisher. And when the man came into the room, it turned out that he was also a former mentee of Harvey that Harvey took under his wing. He's a lot older than myself. And we literally just sat there and kind of shot the shit, so to speak, around Harvey. But he'd said, Harvey used to tell that story about you because he loved talking to people about the level of commitment that people who will just go out and make something happen will do. Yeah. And he loved telling people the story of how you would sit in your Motel 6 eating your noodle soup because I couldn't afford it. I was operating on fumes when it came to money. And so anyway, he was a very, very important part of my genesis.
I think the biggest takeaway we can learn from Todd's experience, and you've heard other successful wealthy people, successful entrepreneurs, business leaders share that if you want different results, if you want a different life, then you have to dare to do something different. So would you be willing to stay in a Motel 6? Would you be willing to leave your home and go somewhere you've never been and take a risk like Todd made? Many of us don't, and then we wonder why we're still broke, why we can't get ahead. But those that are willing to take that risk, to take a chance and invest time into themselves, into their life, into their career, then they see extraordinary results. And that's what I love about Todd's story. That's what I love about those that are willing to hack their wealth by taking a risk and investing in themselves. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, this is Jeff Rose reminding you that it's your money, it's your life, and only you can make it awesome. Peace.